Natalie McNamara, a positive mental health coach. I specialise in working with year 11s and year 12s to help them deal with all the ups and downs that they're going to go through, especially in the final years of school. Now let's get a few misconceptions out in regards to mental health. When we talk about this too, when we talk about mental health, I'm talking about how you think about life, yourself, school, family, friends, the health of those type of thoughts. Are they more in the positive or are they more in the negative? When I talk about mental health, it has nothing to do with mental illness. A lot of students struggle with things like anxiety and depression, but that doesn't mean that they are deeply struggling with the mental illness. The idea of working on your mental health is to build that strength so that when you are struggling with anxiety, you know how to cope with it. You know how to change that thinking and put it into a realistic form so you can continue to move on with life. The second misconception, the second misconception is that everything that I teach is all about being happy. Yeah, you know what? Being happy is one emotion that we experience in life. But as you know, life is all about experiencing all the emotions. We have to experience emotions such as fear. We have to experience love. We have to experience friendship, loneliness, confidence. It's all about understanding all the different emotions, and that when you experience them all, there is nothing has gone wrong. The first thing that they're going to learn is something called the thought cycle. And what this does is it helps teach them or give them real clarity on what they control, what they don't control, what we try desperately to control, and what we go, if I let that go, it's actually going to make me feel so much better. I go into a lot of detail in the thought cycle, and when they master that, they can watch this video as many times as they need. It will take such pressure off the student, off your child, that they will start to see different ways that they can work through life, work through what they're going through, because the first thing they'll ask themselves is, hey, what do I control? Throughout this program, I go through 5 major things that students all need to learn to start to avoid. It's going to come creeping into life, but they learn that when it does, these are the things that we need to avoid as much as possible to help build the strength. If we continue to live in it, it will help deplete that strength. The first one is blame. When we blame, we hand over all of our power to someone else so that we can feel better. If someone else does something that we need, then we can feel better. Now that's really scary because we have no control over what someone else does. So that's the very first thing that I teach is blame. The second area that I teach in regards to avoiding is self-doubt. Now self-doubt thinking is natural, and any year 12 student that has set any goal, which could be an ATAR, a high ATAR, an 80 ATAR, or just to pass year 12, that's a goal. Instantly self-doubt comes in, and a lot of kids think something's gone wrong and that means they're not going to achieve it. That is BS. It's actually really natural, and I teach that that's what's meant to happen. As soon as you set yourself a goal beyond what you are capable of right now, self-doubt's coming in. We learn about self-doubt, how to recognize it, and how to move over to confidence. Another area that I teach is other people's opinions. You know what? As a teen, it's really, really important what other people think of us. But when you go through this program, you start to learn what little power you have in other people's opinions. And as soon as you start to practice this, because this is a practice, this is something that we develop for the year, other people's opinions start to matter less and less, unless it's someone's opinion that you really care for. And then it'll be an opinion that'll help benefit you. Another area that I talk about to avoid is comparison. Oh, this is such a massive one with the teens. We see it on social media, we hear it, we watch it, our celebrities, we compare. The problem with comparing is when we do it too much, it affects our self-worth. It means I'm not worthy. It means that I'm not enough. So I teach what it is, how to recognize it, and how to slowly eliminate it or slowly reduce it. And the final area to avoid is assumption. You know, we assume we know, we assume we know what someone else is going through. We assume other people know what we're going through. And that only causes anxiety, that only causes stress. Whereas when we can stop assuming, we actually lose the judgment because we behave on what we judge other people to be or to not be. And when we reduce that, that will help build mental strength. And the 5 areas that we work on empathy. Now, empathy is, I think it's an emotion that really is on the decrease because empathy is from connections. It's not from online stuff. Oh, I love you, darling. That doesn't really give us the empathy. But when your friend is there and doesn't feel sorry for you, but can actually put themselves in your position, it is gold. It helps boost your mental strength, your mental power, so that your mental health is at its peak when coping with any of the crap that goes on in life. The next area we work on is gratitude. Now, I know that is a buzzword at the moment, but it is so true. We actually, when we start to focus on what we're grateful for, on what we really have and not what we don't have, the brain actually starts to see all the stuff that we do have over all the stuff that we don't. Because if we focus on that, we are always going to want. And it's great, but we can still want all the stuff that we've got. Another area we focus on is positive self-talk. Now, I actually have mindfulness cards that you can purchase, which really do talk to your subconscious and help build your positive self-talk, how you talk to yourself when no one else is around, because that will affect how you behave and the results you get in life. The final 2 areas we talk about is one is calm, and I know that sounds quite weird, but I teach how to get your thinking into a calm way so that you can make the best decisions for you. And the final area is anxiety. Now that in itself sounds a bit weird, but the facts is we live in an anxiety-fueled world. So I don't want to eliminate it because it's there. And you know, for me to say don't be anxious in year 12, well, they're still going to be anxious. But we work on what it is and how you can work with it so it actually starts to benefit you and you can change your thinking. Email access to me because my ultimate goal is to help every single young person in Australia to have the best and strongest mental health so that they don't really struggle with anxiety, they don't struggle with depression, and they don't have those suicidal thoughts. I know, I've been there. I tried to take my life twice when I was a teenager, and my passion is to not have any child think in such a way that there is no other way out. I would love to have your team join me. Any questions, please email me. I can't wait to see them inside. Mwah. Thank you very much.